Internet! Hello, you lovelies! We got some incredible breaking news today, as suddenly out of nowhere we got the reveal for the Superman suit. Now, I want to break this down with some comic references. I want to break this down into what I think this image says. I want to compare it to past Superman suits and their initial photo reveals, and I want to talk about that background. So there's a lot in this one image, and it's really fun to just go into the theoretical. This movie's going to be out next July. We got 14 months to talk and theorize and have fun with these little morsels we get. So I'm going to be doing a lot of content on the DCU as it comes out. Please do subscribe to this page. I love comic books. All studios, all the publishers are making art for us to enjoy. This Marvel-DC rivalry is very silly. So if you like comic books and you like movies, please do subscribe here. I'm trying to get this page to 25K sometime in May, and we're like 70 away from 24K, so I really appreciate each and every one of you. All the YouTube stuff aside, like, comment, all that stuff, let's talk about this Superman reveal. This image right here has so much in it. Now, the background I want to talk about next, but first I want to talk about the actual comic book influences here. Now, my favorite element of this whole thing is the collar. I know not everyone's going to think that. I know not everyone's going to enjoy that. I don't necessarily love the new 52 suit, but I think the new 52 suit, as translated, at least in the collar, looks fantastic here. This, to me, mirrors the new 52 suit the most of any main comic. Now, the Kingdom Come chest piece here, the sigil, I really enjoyed the sigil from Kingdom Come used on a practical suit because it makes more sense to me logically to have an S that looks like a symbol than an S. It's always kind of strange when, you know, an S literally just looks like the letter S, because if a symbol stands for hope, it just feels more natural that it wouldn't be like Times New Roman S. So I really like the sigil having that aggressive line work, and in this case, Kingdom Come is where we see that most often. It also has this Fleischer outline here. This is from the classic, way back in the day, I think 30s, 40s cartoons from Fleischer, and that is the really thin line work around the sigil itself, as well as the cowl behind the collar being a bit of that aforementioned New 52. While lower, we got trunks, you lovelies. There are trunks on this bad boy, and that makes me so happy. As a fan of him having his underwear on the outside, I think this is a fun look. I think it's classic Superman. I think we haven't seen that in a while. We haven't seen it certainly since in live action. On film side, since Brandon Routh, I think that was the last time we saw the trunks on the outside, and I think they're going to be a little bit more subdued, but I think they're really going to play here. And that's one of the things I like about this is the colors are vibrant, but they're more subdued, honestly, than I expected. This image is overall a bit darker than I expected, and the costume lends a little bit darker than I would have thought with James Gunn coming out of the gate with this. So I'm really intrigued by which choices of blue and red here. I'm also intrigued by how scuffed up this looks. Now, I do want to talk about one of the things I don't like. There is an element of this suit that, because of the image itself, and I do like the image being another day at the office, gotta go save the world. To me, this doesn't read as negligent, which I've seen some commentary on. To me, it reads as gotta go to work. And I love that this is Superman being, you know, who he is at all times. He's always gotta go take care of something. Like, I don't know, there's a sense of joy in the mundane, and this looks like any other day. This would be any of us just, you know, soldiering off to work. So I like that element, but what I don't necessarily like is, in that element, the thickness of the suit, because it's so worn, and because of the way it lays on the shoulders and the looseness, there is something to be said about it feeling off in the fitting. Like when you see a suit, like a tailored suit that isn't quite tailored correctly, it's a different thing. Like, we don't usually have baggier suits. It's usually skin tight, it's usually spandex, and there is something that I have to get used to with the way it lay on the shoulders, the way the collar looks really thick. I like the shape of the collar, but the thickness around the sleeves, there's a thickness and a weight to the suit I'm going to have to get used to. But it does feel, in that same vein, like an outfit. It feels like something you'd wear to work, and this is going to be a universe that already has heroes attached, that already has heroes all around. This is a world that has heroes that aren't, it's commonplace that heroes exist in this world, so it would be commonplace that heroes would have, you know, kind of a uniform that's traditional and kind of like going off to work. It looks like coveralls, like someone that worked like a union job or someone that did cleaning for the city, or I don't know, it just has that workman feel that I'm hoping that's what they're going for. I'm hoping that's what the heroes' costumes feel like overall. So those are my thoughts on the suit. I know it's controversial, but I don't love it or hate it. And I know this is YouTube, so I should pick one, and I should make a thumbnail face where I'm either overjoyed or enraged. but I'm kind of like, I like it, don't love it, don't hate it. I'm excited to see Superman. I'm excited to see David Corenswet in Superman outfit, so that's the joy I get. But when I look at the details, there are things I don't love. So to anyone that wants to be really happy, I'm sorry. To anyone that wants to be really angry, I'm sorry. I also think it's worth noting this is the first image we were given, and the story elements to come in this image are very important, and we should look at the other suits that have gotten us our first look at our Superman. We've got the Christopher Reeve one right here, which is the classic, but I think in that time, this was the suit for that time. I think if we did, I know a lot of people complain about Marvel over-detailing and now DC over-detailing with their suits. If you do just plain blue and red, it looks like pajamas. I love this suit for this era. I don't think this would translate today. I think it would feel like a Target onesie, as amazing as this is. This is literally what Superman looks like. I'm not disparaging the suit, but it wouldn't fit in today's world, I don't think, and I think it would look like someone playing dress-up without a bit more line work and a bit more detail here. Then we've got Brandon Routh, which is a step more to the modern day, and it's supposed to be looking like the Christopher Reeve. This is continuing that, you know, classic Dick Donner Superman. This is basically supposed to be the same character, so you need it to feel similar, but you can see they added texture. They started bringing it more modern and what the film quality looks like, and also what, you know, you're going to see more detail because we film, you know, with much more enhanced cameras. So you've got to do a bit more detail work, but this still does feel classic. It still feels like Superman. And then you've got the Snyder one. I don't want to go through all the TV ones and stuff. There's obviously been a ton of Superman, but just the most recent film ones. You've also got the Snyder one here, and this establishes, whereas Reeve is approachable and a man that is, you know, Superman, and it looks like you just found Superman. And then Routh is like an announcement. It's proud. It's he's going to take care of Metropolis, and it's in that same vein of Reeve. And then a very different one with Snyder here. This is a lot more muted colors, a lot less saturation. It's very intense. There's action going on, and that's more of the heroic god element of Snyder. Snyder always felt like the heroes were above us, and they were always like these titans as opposed to people that would be, you know, as relatable. And there's an inhumanness to the Snyder take that, you know, I think he was going to evolve to be more human. And, you know, he was early into his career, but this, you know, this is a very intimidating and removed and not a lot of color and action and, you know, sparks and stuff. This is very different than this, which to me says a lot about this image here with what we're getting with Corenswet and Gunn. This is a guy going to work. This is a day at the office. This is a guy like, gotta save the world again, like, and who knows, maybe he gets his butt kicked and this is, you know, Brainiac or Parasite, but this is a guy at the office or preparing and just putting on his boots like anybody else, because Clark Kent is a guy from Kansas that is Superman, but he was raised humble. He was raised to help and take care of everyone, and he's got to go to work. And I really like this image's energy being very different from this energy, and even different from this energy. So, love or hate the suit, I do think it's interesting how just a single image and a single announcement image, the first we're seeing of these various Supermen, gives us a lot of the tone, and I think the Snyder image gave us an accurate tone for his world, and I'm curious if this is a representation of the energy of what Corenswet and Gunn are bringing to Superman. Now let's actually break down the look beyond his suit. I really like this Art Deco Metropolis. I've always really enjoyed that Metropolis feels like a place that isn't just, you know, Chicago or New York or anywhere you can just go visit in our reality. And I always loved the animated series, making it feel very specific, just like the Batman animated series did. Gotham had a tone in a lot of movies and shows. Superman should as well. And I love looking at even his chair and that mid-century feel. I love the like retro-futuristic furniture, floor, window, all of it has a very specific style. And then Metropolis itself, I'm assuming that is going to be Lex Tower right there. LexCorp, I think, is going to be the big tower that is under that beam. The beam itself could be a lot of things. It could be Brainiac, who's been rumored. It could be Parasite, who's been rumored. Parasite has, you know, that pink, purpley, crazy energy. Brainiac, we think of as green. This could be not an image from the movie. We know this is a still that was taken on set, and all of this is in camera. This is not special effects, not AI, blah, blah, blah. It is literally a set photographer taking a picture of David Corenswet going off to the office. So this actual background might not be anything to do with the plot of the movie, or it could be Parasite, it could be Brainiac, it could be Lex, it could be any number of things, but the green makes me think Brainiac. I hope we get Brainiac in this movie. I think Lex is the big bad, but it'd be fun to have Brainiac after all these years, or set up Brainiac to be an overarching villain. I really think AI and the machinations of a sentient, robot identity, a sentient computer identity that actually is alien causing harm to the planet would be a great commentary on an alien that isn't harming the planet. Like, that's Lex Luthor thinks of Superman as something as evil as Brainiac, and Superman is so human, and that's what makes him special. He's the most human of us, but he is so superhuman, and so something that is inhuman, that is actually harmful, being a mirror to Superman would be great. And also the artifice of Brainiac versus the Kansas everyman of Superman. I think there's something there. And also AI is something prevalent in our society. People thought this image was AI. So I think it'd be really a good commentary now on what AI is turning society into, as well as it being a great juxtaposition to Superman. So I'm hoping it's Brainiac myself, but I'd also love to see Parasite, and I think this image really brings a lot of those flavors into the possibility that we could see one of those. The last thing I want to talk about while we're talking about the suit itself and this image right here is Corenswet got huge. This, I think his trainer shared this image. Corenswet's a big dude, so I'm not as worried about the suit not feeling like super tight because of that. I am worried about when you're a bulky guy and clothes don't fit exactly right, it looking unintentional. So I'm hoping this is something that kind of depends on the angle, depends on all the things, but the flowy cape and all those elements, I do think him being this jacked is going to give us that like McGinnis Superman flavor, that like huge Superman that McGinnis likes to draw. This does feel like Jim Lee's Superman, who's also really big. All of that excites me. I mean, obviously, Alex Ross is a key factor. We know this is based off like the All-Star Superman run, as well as some other runs. All big, very large, corn-fed Kansas boys. But I'm hoping the way the suit lays when he's actually in motion shows that strength and physicality, and not it feeling too workman in a negative way, as much as I think that'd be a great commentary on the movie they're making here. So I'm really excited about this. In general, like I said, don't love it, don't hate it. I know that's probably not what you came here to hear if you're looking for a definitive, but I need to see more. I need to see it in motion. I need to see what other suits look like in this universe. I need to see how it actually moves, because the shot we saw in the snow, the sigil was clean. Now it's going from this to this, and now it's, scuffed up. He's worked through it. Things have happened in that suit. So I'm curious overall what you guys think. Do you like this suit? Do you hate this suit? Do you love this suit? I want to know what you guys are feeling. Are you excited for David Corenswet as Superman? I've made a ton of videos. I'm going to make a ton more. Please do subscribe. I love the idea of a all-star Superman from James Gunn, and I'll do a whole video as things come out with news on Superman. Everything DCU, all the pieces we've gotten, whether it's Gunn on this, whether it's Mangold on Swamp Thing. I'm very intrigued by what we're going to be getting with a lot of these properties. I'm really intrigued by what the Batman of this universe is going to be with Matt Reeves out there. There's a lot of stuff to come, so please do subscribe if you want to see all that, and let me know what you thought of this video and these references and different elements of different. I mean, this is the legacy of Superman. This is the Superman legacy in one costume, and that intrigues me very much. So please like, subscribe, comment, etc. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you soon.